5 minutes after 9 o'clock. It's time for Veterans News. Hank Whittier is in the studio.
Alrighty. You're just worked up over Valentine's Day. Is all that candy out there for me, Larry?
It's every piece, yes. Did you have any?
Well, I mean, I didn't know it was for me. I was, Donnie got into it already.
Taking whatever's left.
I'm taking it back to Vivian. Yeah,
he already has his story. He tried them. She didn't like those ones that are missing.
I said, would you believe the candy I bought for you, these guys grabbed out of my hand?
That's funny.
And Donnie Harrison just, but Donnie likes the fruit flavored ones. Don't you, Donnie?
Cherry
flavor. Hey, good news this morning. No soldier casualties from Afghanistan. No killed in action. I think that's 3 weeks in a row. I mean, and I remember there's always a little delay in our reporting because the Department of Defense is a little bit slow on that, but hopefully it's accurate. So that's the good news. There were a couple of, I think there was a. Did you get that, John? I think there was a. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah, not yet. He may yet. He said he was gonna call. I think he got it. Are there two of those, or one, or two? And probably both out of California. I don't know, but we'll wait a couple of minutes on that. In the meantime, we got some other folks here. Donnie, you don't have to sit back there. You can sit up here with the adults. It's like he's sitting at the kids' table back here,
Notice he didn't move to Hank's side.
Yeah. Well, that's a wise decision.
Hank, I'll leave this with you too, buddy.
Outstanding, buddy. Okay, good. Outstanding. That him? I hear phones going off.
Good morning. You're on the air with Hank.
Good morning, Hank. This is Lieutenant David Redmond with the Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, guy. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good.
I tell you, always glad to hear from you, but not under these circumstances.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
Yeah, you got, what are you, 2? 3?
2 today, that's correct.
All right. You go ahead and do them.
Okay. Unfortunately, both these were the victim of Christopher Dorner out in California. The first was Police Officer Michael Crane with the Riverside Police Department. He died 1 week ago from today. Police Officer Crane was shot and killed when he and his partner were ambushed while they were stopped at a red light at the intersection of Magnolia Avenue and Arlington Avenue. The subject opened fire on their patrol car, fatally wounding Officer Crane. Officer Crane had served with the Riverside Police Department for 11 years. He was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. He is survived by his wife, son, and daughter. Our second officer is Detective Jeremiah McKay with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office in California. Detective McKay was killed 2 days ago while he attempted to apprehend suspect Christopher Dorner for murdering police officer Michael Crane. After a vehicle-to-vehicle shootout, Detective McKay and another deputy were both wounded. They were flown to Loma Linda University Hospital, where he succumbed to his wounds. Detective McKay served with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office for 15 years. He is survived by his wife and his child.
Okay, not good news. We're always sad to hear that. I hope that Sheriff Blair is going to continue doing the letters. I know, to the victims, to the casualties.
Yes, sir. As far as I know, we are.
Okay, I appreciate it, guy. Listen, you be safe.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Okay, that's it, really. That's as I said, we have no military casualties, no firemen, so not a bad day, but we still had 2 police officers down. I'm sorry?
That's never good.
No, it's never good. Well, in this case, again, one of them was a Marine as well. All that mess he served in Afghanistan. I think he did 2 tours over there and come back to this, and then gets killed in his hometown. Larry, you want to go ahead and do Amazing Grace for us, and then we'll get back to the troops.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now
thank you. Thank you. Off the air, all this stuff's going on. We're listening to Amazing Grace, and you're winking at me. I mean, come on, Donnie.
He had something in his eye.
Yeah, it was something in his eye. Yeah, I'm not your Valentine. I'm Larry's Valentine because he brought candy, but I'm not your Valentine.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
He isn't over.
You're gonna pull rank on me? Yeah. Well, what were you discharged as? A private or
Sergeant.
a sergeant?
Yes.
Meritorious promotion.
A real good sergeant.
A meritorious promotion. And your last duty station was where?
Vietnam.
No, that wasn't your last duty station. No.
Charlestown Shipyard, Boston,
And
Massachusetts.
you had gate duty, did you?
No, I had scraping the barnacles off gung ho.
Gotcha.
As a sergeant.
In other words, you were in the brig. Is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
Would have been safer.
Yeah, listen, we're supposed to have a couple of guests. We have one guest here, and I'm glad he showed up. But I know you guys probably have a couple of announcements.
We always do.
Yeah, let me remind everybody, this weekend's that dance down there at Lady Lake American Legion. Participate. They always put on a good show, great dancing, great food. So get down to it, the American Legion. Is that 466?
It's 347.
347. Outstanding. They do a great job down there. Ron Jones and all those folks. So just go down there and dance and have a good time. And I think the cover charge is, I think it's $10. It's not much. And they've been good to us. And they, you'll enjoy it. They put on good music and take your Valentine dancing. I got plans for you too, Donnie. Yeah, I'm leading.
Now you know where you're
I'm
going.
Leading. Okay.
Now you know where you're going.
All right, now you guys got some dinners, some barbecues, some
We always have
one-eyed
good
jack,
stuff like that,
poker
right?
games or something,
Poker
whatever you
games,
play
all.
out there.
We gave up on you for bar
can't- well, I
bingo.
can't
He
handle
can't figure that out. It's too complicated. Yeah, I want to remind everybody that on Wednesdays and Fridays we have meals over at Candler VFW, just out past Lake Weir High School. Wednesday is spaghetti night, and Friday is fish fry night. And we start serving at 4:30, and we keep serving until all those people have got their meals. We also remind everybody that American Legion Post 284 in Bellevue has bingo Wednesdays and Saturdays, and early bird games start 5:15, and the regular games about 6 o'clock. So if you'd like to enjoy bingo and help Post 284 do all its good programs, come on out to do bingo with us.
Good morning. Once again, we would like to remind everyone that the Brady Owens VFW Post 7193 is trip to the Holy Land is fastly approaching. It is next week on the 21st of February. The adult tickets are $40 and the children tickets are $35. And the trip includes transportation to and from Orlando with a continental breakfast thrown in to make sure that you're not going to be hungry. The buses, I should say, leave from Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church at 7:30. Deadline for the tickets or supposed to be January 30th, but since we have 7 more seats left, we're holding off until the actually morning of the 20th, because our contact person, Mrs. Ernestine Porter at 352-629-1668, has made some special arrangements that she can call down and get you your ticket just before we pull the church. But you have to have the money in by the 20th, the morning of the 20th, so that when you get there, your ticket will be all ready, so you can just walk right in and enjoy the festivities there at the Holy Land. So make sure now you get your money to her by the 20th, or when you get there, you won't be able to get in. Remember, it's a Brady Owens VFW Post 7193. Come one, come all. We're going to have a trip to the Holy Land on the 21st of February. So tickets are $40. Children tickets are $35. And for more information, call Ernestine Porter, Comrade Ernestine Porter at 352-629-1668. Also, we're announcing once again that Brady Owens Community Center, VFW Post 7193, having its 4th annual VFW 7193 Golf Scramble Tournament. It's going to be at Pine Oaks Golf Course, Saturday, March the 2nd. And the registration is from 8 to 8:30. It's going to have a shotgun start. 4-player golf scramble. You know how that goes. The entry fee is $60 per player. It includes lunch and free-range balls as well as your golf cart. We're asking everyone to please come out. If you want to send your money in, make sure the money orders and checks are paid with the VFW Post 7193, and the address is P.O. Box 6413. That's in Ocala, Florida, 34478-6413. And there's also sponsorships of opportunities available. And for that, you can contact Ron Reese, 352-281-2685, or Comrade Charietta Prince at 352-620-0476. Now remember, all the monies that we have, and once all the bills are paid, it goes directly to our Brady Owens Community Center / VFW Post, which is located at 3140 Northwest Old Gainesville Road. We're ready to start the actual bricklaying part of it, and we're asking that everyone please come out and support these activities so that we can start laying the brick of that beautiful Brady Owens Community Center. There's so many things we have done already, and then now we're ready to begin building that post and that community center. So help us out, because we really need this facility so that we can rent out the building space for bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs and for weddings and all kinds of community activities for a large space that's really needed.
Larry, you got somebody on the line?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we take the persons on the line? Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Yes.
Good morning. This is Bruce. Listen, I want to remind you that May the 22nd, the honor flight is back on, and we've fellows that got on the first time, the first plane went, and then we sit there and the plane had something wrong with it, so we didn't get to go. I just wanted to remind them.
Good.
That May the 22nd, that the honor flight is back on.
Okay, good. Thanks for reminding us about that. Appreciate it, Bruce.
Yeah, now there's one other thing.
Sure.
A lot of things that people don't understand during World War II. We had an MGM, I was a motion picture director of camouflage, and he was started, and he was a major, and he used to say, well, I'm a major, and you see that thing, but that doesn't mean anything. Just your boss. And we had people in there that camouflaged to work different machines and equipment, and my job was to create a photographic lab on there for aerial photography enough. Then after that, we had artists in there. A lot of people don't realize that we had artists in there and people that made models and all type of things during World War II, and then lectures and stuff. But there was more than just fighting in that. And in World War II, there was groups of people, art people and artists and people like that.
Yep.
Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it. So I'm going to hang up now.
Okay, everybody had a job to do. We appreciate it, though. Hey, listen, thank you for that. Are you doing your cookout this weekend?
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
No. Actually, the cookout is on the 23rd. It's always on the 4th Saturday. Okay. And we're having our little fish fry. That's going to be on the 4th Saturday. It starts at 10:30 for the advance orders, and the public is invited to start cook. We start cooking for them at 11, from 11 to 3. So come one, come all for that. That's on the 4th Saturday, the 23rd of February.
Okay. You got one more phone call, then we're going to take a break in a minute, and we're going to come back with John Steer and see where we go from there.
Good morning. You're on the air with Hank.
I have a question for Hank and any other former Marine present. When someone who has served in the Marine Corps shoots a police officer, does that demote them to ex-Marine?
Well, listen, officially probably not. In my mind, it sure as hell does. Yeah. He said in the Marine Corps, someone did like this fella does. Like, is he an ex? Like for an ex-Marine? Well, you know what? There ought to be a mechanism for something like that. He's talking about the guys who perpetrate crimes and kill police officers and stuff like that. And I said there ought to be a mechanism for that, because you certainly lost that. You lost a lot of what you say you were about. And I don't know what happened. But this guy was, I think, you're talking about this guy out in California?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I believe he was in the Navy, but
no, he was not in my Navy.
No, well, see, well, there you go. So I think, most of us would consider people like that no longer our comrades. I mean, you can talk about PTSD and all the other things that go with it, but, not that. When you start murdering people, you've lost any respect that I owe you.
Generally, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yeah, well, with the exception of the guy sitting diagonally across from me, Donnie Harrison.
I
can't tell you some of the things he did after he got out of the Marine Corps, but you can only imagine. Okay?
It's all documented too.
And it's documented in the Boston police courts. So.
You can't see it from that great ship that I served aboard.
Okay, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one, man. No, that's right. Not in my Navy. You're right. Listen. Couple other things. 4209 is still doing their fish fry Friday, so go on up there about 4 o'clock and get a great fish fry. And Donna, you were anxious to say something. Let me tell them who makes this all possible. Ford Lincoln of Ocala. Been around here for a long time, selling good cars to good people. You need to buy a Ford. I know what you're driving now. You need to buy a Ford. Okay. And Roberts Funeral Home and Cemetery has been in this county and around this surrounding area for 120 years. They wouldn't be around that long unless they were doing something right. So go talk to them, do some pre-planning, and give a gift to your family, because that's really what it's about. Go ahead, Donnie. You're anxious, I can tell.
I'm really anxious. I'd like to extend a welcome and a thanks to Mark Haley from the Marion Dunn Free and Accepted Masons Lodge 19. What he's done is he's partnered with the Marine Corps League 061 to co-sponsor our first annual Helping Veterans charity silent auction and golf outing on Friday and Saturday, October 18th to the 19th, at the Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. This is a fantastic initiative specifically designed to identify and assist needy veterans throughout the Marion County in acquiring reasonable and affordable homes with dignity. And I emphasize the dignity part. We need to treat our veterans with this a lot more. The plan provides some qualified veterans who may already own their own homes also with vouchers and resources to assist them in making some immediate and critical renovations in and around their homes, and in some cases we'll provide them with appliances and furniture. Our third initiative with this initiative is will provide needy and qualified veterans, spouses, and or their children with scholarship money so that they can further their education and training. This is going to be exciting because we've made a lot of contact with folks active in reserves in the National Guard, and we're pursuing military participation for this wonderful initiative, where we're already in the process of arranging for the portable military memorial walls, the Vietnam, the Afghan, and the Iraqi walls to be on display there. We're looking for and hoping that we can get some military equipment and technology out there for display. And then lastly, we want to have active duty folks attending every hole, so these sponsors can actually meet and talk and discuss issues and concerns with active military personnel.
Outstanding. Okay, good. Yeah, listen, we're looking forward to that. We got our other golf tournament on March 16th, which is down there at Spruce Creek, and still some openings for teams to play. I think not many sponsorships are left, but there's a few, but you can still play. $60 a player, and just call the radio station here and sign up. We're going to take a real quick break, and then we're going to come back and get John on the horn. We get some music to play, and we get some stories to tell. You have a phone call?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's take the phone call, and then we'll check out, and then the next half hour belongs to John.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning. This is Dennis. I'll be brief. I had told you I would try to find out a little bit of the history of
the tank.
Of the tank.
Yeah, the M47.
And yes, and I figured the guy might be a little miffed, that I was correcting him on everything, but not really the case. I got a really nice letter back from him after I had written him a letter explaining, what I did, and it was very apologetic and very grateful, and it was from a guy named Michael Roberts. I imagine you guys know him.
Yeah,
I've never met
Mike's
him.
a good guy.
And he did point out, he did send me some letters that he had gotten from the Ordnance Department of the Army and a little bit about history of the tank, and I'm going to find out more. But basically, no M47 ever saw combat service in American hands, although they built 9,100 of them, and they exported them to, of all places, Iran and Pakistan. There was an M47M that was made for Muslims that attacked Israel. I mean, there's some stuff about the M47 that in today's world wouldn't be very politically correct. But as I find out more, I'll keep you posted.
Hey, Dennis, I appreciate you doing that. I know it's taking some time, but thanks for doing that, buddy.
Sure.
Okay. Have a good one. All right, Larry, go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I'm going to get John on after the commercials, and we'll talk a lot about what John's doing and some of his music and some of the things he's written. So we'll come back, we'll talk.
And we'll be right back.
Looking for a primary care provider? Look no further, because Family Care Specialists of Bellevue is your answer. From immunizations to routine checkups for every member of the family, lab, x-ray, and diagnostic testing for heart disease are on site. Cassandra Ricci, ARNP, is accepting new patients with same or next day appointments available. Give the office a call at 245-1111. That's 245-1111. Ocala Health's Family Care Specialists of Bellevue. We care for you for life, from childhood through adulthood.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Portion sizes have steadily increased over the past 20 years. During the same time period, obesity rates have doubled for adults and tripled for children. Modern technology distracts us more and more from the real world around us. The danger of being present but absent is that people lose touch with their emotions and have weaker social bonds. Adult professionals were least likely to want to hire people who use the word like excessively and incorrectly.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
If you add 0 plus 0 plus 0, it adds up to what? 0. For a limited time, you can drive a new 2013 Ford Fiesta, Focus, Fusion, Edge, Escape, or Explorer with 0 down, 0 do-it signing, and 0 first month payment. But if you're one who might need a little more influence, how about we include another 0? A 3-year, 45,000-mile complimentary basic maintenance plan. That's just the way we roll at Ford Lincoln of Ocala. It's the power of 4G. Great brands at great prices with great service from great people. You can miss out on a lot of things in life, but whatever you do, be sure not to miss this extraordinary opportunity to drive a new Ford with 0 down, 0 do-it signing, 0 first month payment, and no charge 3-year basic maintenance during Ford Lincoln of Ocala's Sign and Ride event. Browse our inventory from the comfort of your home at FordofOcala.com, but you're still going to have to come in. You see, it's called a Sign and Ride event. See dealer for details.
Life's journey has many ups and downs, but you can take comfort in the knowledge that Robert's Funeral Home is here to serve you and your family with loving care and dignity. The Roberts family has been providing their caring services since 1898 and offer traditional, custom, cremation, and veteran services. Pre-made arrangements are also available. Roberts Funeral Homes. Great funeral homes serve great people.
Hi, this is Jody Saulnier. Jeff and I are the owners of J&J Jewelers in the Jasmine Plaza, which is located at the intersection of State Road 200 and Airport Road.
We're third-generation jewelers, voted Ocala's favorite jewelry store for the last 5 years.
We carry a wide selection of new and estate jewelry, bridal sets, and citizen watches. J&J Jewelers specialize in jewelry repair and custom design jewelry, including wedding sets.
All of our repairs are done on site and can even be done by appointment while you wait. J&J Jewelers is open Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 to 2, and closed on Sunday and Monday.
Stop by today or visit our website at jandjjewelersocala.com or call 352-401-0001. You'll remember our custom design made for you by us at J&J Jewelers. Proud to be made in America.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
All right, 9:33. Let's return to Hank Whittier in Veterans News. Hank?
We're back, yes. Let me just, we're going to get to John here in a minute, but let me just mention again, this half hour is brought to you by Ford Lincoln of Ocala. Been selling good cars to you folks out there for a long time, and we're going to sell Donnie a Ford here in the near future. Get rid of that foreign car that he drives around. Yeah, you do. You drive a foreign car. I know. Listen, come on. Buy a Ford.
He's an American. That's so good.
Yeah, well, they may have been, but I want you to buy a Ford or a Lincoln. You can afford a Lincoln, the kind of money you got. And Robert's Funeral Home and Cemeteries, you know, they've been doing good stuff in this community for a long, long time. So get a hold of them. Again, they're not sponsors. They're friends. They do a lot of things in this community that they try to really not talk about, but we do occasionally, and they're good folks to deal with. So if you're in the market for a car or a truck, go out to Ford, Lincoln, and if you do some pre-planning for your family, really, that's a smart thing to do. Listen, the other thing, of course, George Albright is doing his antique car show over there on March 16th. Over there in front of his office. That's a good show, and George usually cuts us a few bucks out of the process as well, so we appreciate that. So go see George, and the car show is on March 16th in front of the tax collector's office. Yeah, the one we talked to the other day. In the meantime, let me. It's a real privilege for me because I've met John once a while back, but I haven't seen him in years, and he's actually better looking than he was 10 years ago. Because everybody knows I lie. So, but John Steer is it's the Reverend John Steer. He's a singer, an author, an evangelist, a veteran. 173rd Airborne, outstanding,
all the way,
and
all the way.
Vietnam vet, and real pleasure to have you here, John. I know you're going up to the Fort McCoy home tonight.
Right, I think 12 o'clock to today. Yeah, today 12 o'clock. VFW home, right?
And then
the Ritz, some music, and
the Ritz tomorrow.
Come by.
The Ritz tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, the Ritz tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Outstanding. But John is an interesting guy.
In your neighborhood again.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. I'm sorry you came with Larry, but you had to come with somebody, right?
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but Larry's been helping us out for 20 years.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, long time. Yeah, long time.
I want to know who's helping Larry out.
Yeah, well,
but anyway, John,
somebody has to take him home after we close the bars. No, that's not true.
John's a good guy. Really cares about veterans and other issues. But I know veterans are near and dear to your heart. So I'm going to really turn it over to you. And we got some music that John has recorded.
All right.
So anytime you're ready for that, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here and what you do.
Well, like a lot of vets, I went in the service when I was a kid, 17, and by the time I was 18, I'd been shot twice. But the first one didn't count because I wouldn't take the heart because they were two on each side of me were dead and I wasn't hit very bad. But then I earned the last one when I was 19. I was shot up every day for 3 or 4 days and found under 2 dead bodies a couple days later on Hill 875 at Dock Toe, November 19th, 1967. We lost 287 guys, mostly out of my bat, second bat. Fourth bat got there and saved what was left of us. Otherwise, I'm sure we'd all been probably annihilated. So I've been, stayed drunk for 5 years after that, and in the hospital forever. And I've had so many operations I can't even count them. But I sobered up after about 5 years and gave my heart to Christ and started working in the ministry. And all of a sudden I found myself back in the jails working with veterans. To my surprise, at one time I think we had about, I don't know, thousands and thousands of Vietnam veterans in prison in this country, and even hundreds of thousands of suicides. So it was pretty horrible, and I tried to stay away from the veterans, and I wrote my first book, Vietnam Curse or Blessing, and it about killed me. I actually had a mild heart attack after I wrote the book, but I thought, I'm done with that. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. And I started getting phone calls from people that read the book, and moms and dads didn't understand their son, but after reading my book, they had a little better understanding, and wives and veterans. And pretty soon I was at Missouri Training Center for Men helping facilitate a rap group there. And when I first went there the first time, I thought, I'm going to go in there and tell them Jesus loves them and run like hell, But I got in there and they cheated, because when I got through the third set of electric bars, they told me that, welcome home and thank you for serving our country. And it had already been many years for me since I was shot up the last time. And so I start working with veterans, and that's what I've been doing pretty much as an independent. But one time I carried 11 different veterans organization cards, all given to me by various organizations, and it just hadn't been our hobby, it's been our life. We started a place called Whittier, where we took in over 700 veterans with problems, and the place is, we've run it for 11 years, so we about went crazy, and anyway, turned it over to another organization, and now it's called John 316. And they're not exclusively taking in veterans, but they are taking in Iraq and Afghan veterans and families. But anybody with a substance abuse problem, they're taking in, and they're graduating 70 people every 6 months. So we're pretty proud of them. I've been in 34 countries, working with militaries around the world, mostly ours, but many times the other teams too. And I've even done programs on PTSD in the Soviet Union, and just a lot of places around the world, actually.
Very good. Okay.
So I do a little music, so maybe we can play
one.
Yeah, we can
get into. You want to get into that now, Larry?
Heart's an old one by George Jones, 50,000 Names.
All right, here
you going to do back-to-back on them, are you?
I can, yeah.
You want to do that?
Sure.
Yeah, we got two. Actually going to get two of them that John's
the
recorded.
Other Stars and Stripes he got up there.
All right, here we go.
You want to sing along, Donnie?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did.
Yeah.
But it's similar backgrounds. I got chased out most of it.
There's teddy bears and high school rings, no photographs that mamas bring, and daddies with their young boys playing ball. There's combat boots that he used to wear when he was sent over there. There's 50,000 names carved in the wall. There's cigarettes and there's cans of beer, and notes that say, I miss you, dear, and children who don't say anything at all. There's Purple Hearts and packs of gum, fatherless daughters and fatherless sons, and there's 50,000 names carved in the wall. and rosary beads, crucifixion figurines, and flowers of all colors, large and small. There's a Boy Scout badge and a merit pin, little American flags waving in the wind, and there's 50,000 names carved in the wall. There's 50,000 names carved in the wall. Well, if you ask me where I come from, here's what I tell everyone. I was born by God's dear grace in an extraordinary place where the stars and stripes and the eagles fly. It's a big old land with countless dreams. Happiness ain't out of reach. Hard work pays off the way it should. Yeah, I've seen enough to know we got it good. Where the stars and stripes and the eagles fly. There's a lady that stands in the harbor for what we believe, and there's a bell that still echoes the price that it costs to be free. I pledge allegiance to this flag. That bothers you, well, that's too bad. But if you've got pride and you're proud you do, hey, we could use some more like me and you. We're the stars and stripes and the eagles fly. There's a lady that stands in the harbor for what we believe, and there's a bell that still echoes the price that it costs to be free. No, this ain't the only place on earth, but it's the only place that I prefer. Love my wife and raise my kids, hey, the same way that my daddy did. Where the stars and stripes and the eagles fly. Where the stars and stripes and the eagles fly.
All right, guys, thank you. Hey, listen, that was great, John. When did you record all that stuff? About 6-7 years ago?
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago. I've got about 20 albums I've done over the years.
20?
I haven't done anything recently.
And you got some awards, too, didn't you, from some of the music folks in Nashville?
Yeah,
and
I got
that
3
stuff?
national awards in music and like that, and it was kind of a surprise. I went there with a guitar player and a background tape, and we did good. So.
Okay. And now, today, or at least not just today, but now you're basically traveling around the country?
Yeah, I'm on the road most of the time. 34 countries I think we've been in now, and worked with a lot of different militaries, and been in 7 war zones over the years during some kind of a conflict. I spent quite a bit of time in El Salvador, and I still go back down there now. We're working with the MS-13 now mostly. There's 3 prisons just filled with these guys, and most of these guys are kids from their fathers being soldiers during this war in El Salvador, and they got tattoos all over their head and all over their body, and nobody wants to give them a chance because they're some pretty rough characters. Last time I was there, they told my interpreter, they said, tell your guy here we're gonna hold him for ransom, and they had just killed 23 people. And I said to my interpreter, you tell him I believe I can whip any 2 of them. And I thought about that later. I thought that was kind of dumb because all they do is lift weights. But I said, you tell him I can whip any 2 of them, and with God we can whip the whole mess. And if they kill me, my back's hurting so damn bad right now, they'd just be doing me a favor, and I'll go home to be with Jesus, and they'll still be stuck here. So he told them, they laughed, and they all want to come around, give me a hug, and we've helped them, and friends of mine have started a shoe factory there, so when some of them do get out, at least they can get a job now and support their families.
Got some income coming in anyway.
Yeah, right.
Good. Okay. Well, listen, I know you, and you go to prisons in this country as well.
Go to prisons here. I don't know how many prisons I've been to over the years. Lots of them. We helped start the first VBA chapter 70 in Missouri Training Center for Men. We had at that time 1,600 inmates, 200 Vietnam vets. Out of 1,600 inmates. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
But yeah, I travel around. I do veterans reunions. I do churches. I do any place they'll open the door and let me in. I'll squeak in.
I know you were talking about Melbourne. And,
yeah.
You haven't missed
Larry
one yet,
Shook
huh?
sitting here next to me, and he's been helping babysit me for 20 years, I guess. And we met at Melbourne reunion, and I do entertainment, and I do a chapel service at veterans reunions all over the United States, and have for.
He'll sing his heathen songs on Saturday, and then he preaches on Sunday.
Right.
Well, nothing's changed since the 173rd, then, isn't it? I mean, it's about the same.
All the way, brother.
It's about the same. That's how we all were, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go see the chaplain Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Or,
either that.
Or when you thought you needed them, yeah.
Get an Article 15 if you don't go.
Yeah, you did what 67? You
67.
Your last tour.
I was only in country a little over 9 months and shot up 3 different times. But the last time I was shot up every day for several days, and then they topped it off with an American bomb dropped on our command post, and that's what got my right arm and almost my right leg. I was already chopped up pretty good, but that finished it off.
Okay.
But you know, people don't understand. There's nothing more confusion. There's no more confusion than in a firefight and in war. Them bombers, them pilots, man, they want to do the best job they can do. But when they're up there and you're down here, it's pretty hard to hit the mark sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the fog. Yeah, right. The fog.
I served next to 2 Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. Father Waters, a dear friend, Catholic priest, died about 10 feet from me. And Carlos Lozada and I were holding off a large element of NVA. He took one through the head and was knocked across the top of me, and I took 2 in the back. And he received the Congressional Medal of Honor. He gave us credit for 20 kills in one place. So it was pretty crazy.
Last week, and so I need to say this because I did get a phone call about Bob. You remember Bob came in last week? Now, Bob's a funny little guy, and he's a little peculiar about some things, and I was talking about how some of the things he did to me at a meeting. But Bob was talking about one of his guys that he served with who had recently died, and the guy called me at my office and said, well, gee, I think he went on too long. And I'm going, well, and I guess I need to say it because when you serve with people in that sort of situation, and Bob was talking about a guy he served with in combat, That's like losing your mother and your father and your brother, probably all at once. So, you know,
there's a love there that people.
Yeah, and Bob was talking about it, and
don't understand.
And he was, you know, he was a little emotional, and he talked about it for a while, but that's okay. That made him feel a little better, but I wanted folks to understand that that was appropriate. I think the guy who called me didn't quite. After I talked to me, he understood, but he didn't understand while he was listening.
In Miami, we just did a concert this last week, and that has recently been changed to Miami VA to the Bruce Carter VA Hospital. Well, I stayed with his mother. We've been dear friends, Gold Star mom, for years and years.
Right? Okay.
And but he was a Marine CMH recipient. He jumped on a grenade.
Okay.
And saved his buddies.
Yeah, and you know, those of us who served, and everybody in this room has, and you understand that bond, and the bond's important. And when you lose them, you don't necessarily have to lose them in combat, because in our mind they're still 20 years old, and all the things you shared, and when they're gone, there's an emptiness there. And
if they call and need something,
well, you're there. You're there. Well, unless Larry calls, and then you got the wrong number, Larry, right?
Larry spent 3 years in Vietnam.
Yeah. Most folks could have done it in a year, but it took Larry 3. But that's all right. Yeah. Couldn't find his way off the transport, you know.
Took me a while to catch on.
But today's Fort McCoy. Tomorrow night is the Ritz, and then 7 p.m. And then where you going after that?
Home.
You going home to Arkansas?
Home for a month, and then we're back out on the road.
Okay. But how many weeks on the road are you?
We've been doing about 100 programs a year. Now I'm trying to cut it back to about 50. So,
if folks want to get a hold of you, like my ex-friend Don over there was talking, like
I give you a card there. I don't even know
you give me
new address.
Okay, but phone numbers and to book you, to talk to you, and you've written some books. Is that
I've written 3 or 4 books, I guess.
This is the latest one.
This is the latest one, Wounded Soldier, and
when did you write that?
Some pretty good pictures of me and several presidents and different.
You got any for Marines? You got any coloring pages or anything?
Yeah, we put some for the Marines in the back.
It's a couple of crayons.
I'm living at 105 Lakewood Point in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and it's 71913. I have to look. We just moved there.
Okay.
We're on the little lake there, and we love it.
And that's how they get a hold of you?
They get a hold of us that way, or if they want to call you and you want to give them the number, that's fine.
Okay. Well, then call us here at the radio station. I'll make sure Larry has it.
Okay.
And you can come in to speak. You come in to you do
sure. Come in to speak, do some
and
music. I just held a little revival.
Green Cove Springs.
I have to ask him where I was at. Green Cove Springs. We just finished that up last night. So.
Okay. Yeah, I know Green Cove Springs pretty well. Right on the
but
river.
I love
right
to
on
talk
the river.
about our veterans and patriotism.
Very good.
And I love to talk about our Lord too.
And you were one of the points of light that George Bush talked about. I know that.
Yeah, we were in the 682nd Presidential Point of Light by George Bush Sr.
Very good. Well, you've had a distinguished career, but the thing that makes you most important to us is you're a veteran, and you served, and I know you're a patriot.
Yes, sir, all the way.
And we talked off the air. We were talking about a couple of things.
If they want this old fat body again, they can have it.
And I'm surprised you didn't come in with your hat on.
I had to wear it. Looks
pretty good. Black hat.
The other day, it was hot.
Yeah.
Hot and sweaty. Somebody said, you got a hat like Garth Brooks. I said, I was wearing a hat before Garth Brooks was born.
That's before he was born. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, your service is appreciated. I wish folks could meet you personally like we have and know a little bit more about you. But they get a chance to see you tonight, this afternoon, out there at Fort McCoy.
You bet.
And you're gonna do some singing out there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then tonight too, tomorrow night down at the Ritz.
This afternoon at the VFW and tomorrow night at the Ritz, right?
Yep.
Okay, outstanding. Are you gonna sing too, Larry?
No, I don't want to chase anybody away.
You know, we do some gospel tunes, but we might throw in a little Waylon and Johnny Cash.
There you go. We like Johnny Cash and Waylon too, for that matter. Absolutely.
Yeah, one of his albums is a tribute to Johnny Cash.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you can't tell the difference between the voices.
No, you got a nice voice. Actually, you got a nice voice. Is there anything on those albums you're singing? But I know 50,000 Names must strike a chord. But is there anything else? Yeah, anything else that?
Yeah, about any of them. They're all pretty patriotic. Wounded Soldier. I'm not sure if that's on that one or not.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes.
That's a pretty touchy-feely song.
Yeah,
I mean,
is it too late to gear that one up? Why don't we gear that one up and we'll go out with that one, and then when you're ready to roll it, let me know, and then
I sang that in Washington D.C. at the dedication of the Three-Men Soldier.
Outstanding.
50,000 people out there.
Outstanding. We'll go out with that, and let me just tell you, as I tell you every week, guys, thank you for your service, and God bless America. And John, anything you'd like to say? John, it's a pleasure. I'm good to see you again. I haven't seen you in quite a while. Don't be a stranger. Come on back again, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, we're ready to.
Go ahead.
We're going to end with Wounded Soldier.
Yeah,
and, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Larry. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, folks.
See all the wounded, hear all their desperate cries for help, pleading for shelter and for peace. Our comrades are suffering. Come, let us meet them at their knees. Don't let a wounded soldier die. Come, let us pour the oil. Come, let us bind the hurt. Let's cover them with a blanket of His love. Come, let us break the bread. Come, let us give them rest. Let's minister healing to them. Don't let another wounded soldier die. Obeying their order, they fought on the front lines for our
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
ABC News Now. I'm Daniela Bellotta. South African Olympic runner Oscar Pistorius has been charged with shooting his girlfriend to death.